Today's video is going to be about the major key strategies. So many of you guys have heard about the major key over the years. I think a lot of people have used it obviously over the years, but a lot of people obviously don't understand how it works. So the major key strategy is the only strategy that was available 8 years back when I started trading. So this is the first strategy that I used. This is how I made my first 100,000 Rand back in the day. I'll actually try and pop it out for you guys as well. There's a video about that. So this is the first strategy I use. Let me take you guys through the components, how to set it up, and if it is still applicable in today's markets. So let's quickly look at the technical aspect of the major key. So major key consists of just a trend line. So it's about number one, the trend, focusing on identifying the trend. Number two, waiting for your trend line breakout, okay, and then trading the breakout. So then I'm also going to show you guys how I took that strategy and that way of trading, and I implemented a few other technical components for me to understand and obviously to get better entries and obviously better risk reward.
Okay, so the major key strategy, or as we all know it, the trend line breakout strategy. So this is not a sense where we're looking for trend trades like this. It's very important to understand. That's just a normal 0.1, 0.2 extend, taking the third touch on so that's basically using the trend line to take a buy. We can also see the same thing, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So that's a channel. So this is not what the major key is about. What the major key is about is identifying higher time frame trades, okay, higher time frame trends, and then dropping to the lower time frames and trading trend line breakouts in that trend. So the first thing you need to understand with trend lines is you need to first identify the trend. So here we had a break of structure, so we knew if we get a pullback, we would continue into the highs. Okay, so let's quickly rewind this actually, and we're going to be doing this live with you guys. Okay, so now we can clearly see we are above that level, and we want to mark off the higher low. So as long as we are above that level, we are looking for buys. Okay, now we're going to drop down to the 1H. The reason I want to do this is to show you guys how I would interpret the market live, okay? Because I'm also going to take losses during what I'm about to do to show you guys that you are going to take losses and that no strategy is foolproof. That's why still having a written down risk management and trade allocation plan is a key element to the market. Okay, we're just waiting for pullbacks. Okay, now we have a pullback. Okay, there's no spikes or anything, so there's no trend. So that would have been a little bit of a trend over there, but obviously we weren't trading this strategy yet when price was at that point. So now we're getting some sort of a pullback. So we're just waiting for a little bit of a spike, so like a lower high to form. Okay, so if we can sell now from this point, we'll have something to work with. Perfect. So you guys see how you're waiting for a high point and then a lower high point. Then we can pull in the strategy. Okay, now we're just waiting. Let's just extend this now to the downside. Okay, let's wait. Okay, boom, and there's the break. So now we're going to be taking a buy to the top side. Okay, later on in the strategy, I'm going to show you guys how to also use this and make it easier. So how to add some components to make it easier. But let's stick to this concept. Okay, and there we're going straight zero drawdown into profits. So let's just take that to the left hand side. The reason I want to leave this in, guys, is there's a perfect 1-to-4 risk reward ratio. So I'm going to go through the plan now, but for now we know that we won one trade. Okay, let's quickly jump to daily. Every time after we've won a trade, we want to go back to daily, because now we're forming a new high low point. So as long as price stays above that point, we are buying. Let's go back to 1H and let's continue looking for some trades. And we don't do anything now. We're just waiting for a high point. There's a possible high point now. nothing yet, and possible high points. Okay, now we have a high point and we have lower high point. Let's see. Okay, and we're selling. Okay, now we have a little bit of a steeper point. Okay, I'm still waiting for you guys can see there was no pullback for lower high. So we only have that point and we don't have a second point to attach it to. Let's hope we pull back from this level. Then okay, perfect. Now we can add that. And now we can obviously see there's already a breakout. And let's take the second trade. And once again, zero drawdown, that's not going to be a stop loss. Zero drawdown into profits. Okay, perfect. So now we have 2 trades running. I promise you guys, there's nothing open. There's nothing weird. I can actually show you guys my tabs. The Academy, Calendar, or GST, and then gold. So there's nothing that I'm using in any way to predict this. So this is actually just me doing it live. I don't even trade the strategy anymore. This is just me using it. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now we have another pullback, guys. So we have that point and we have a lower high being created. Let's just do this. Let's just take this out. Okay. Perfect. Okay, we haven't closed above yet. Okay, now we're closing above. So the third trade is active. Okay, let's run it again. And boom. So now we're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay, perfect. Let's quickly wait for another pullback. I'm just going to move this smaller once again. And now we are waiting for another pullback. There's some pullback starting. But you guys can see I'm quite fast forwarding because now we have a high point, but we don't have a lower high point to work on. So we need a lower high point. Okay, there we're forming a lower high. So if this can pull back now, okay, so there was no trend. We can't be doing things like this. Okay, there's just nothing to work with. That might have been a little bit of a pullback, but once again, guys, that's just too steep for me. Just look at the angles of most of my things. It's about a 45-degree angle that I'm working on. So let's wait for another pullback. So we're not going to get every single trade. So you see there's another high, but there's no lower high. So you can do this. But once again, guys, I don't want to push the market. I'm sticking to the way I want to do it. It is sometimes sad when something like that happens, but once again, we're in this for the long run and we want to be profitable in the long run, not just take a few trades and hopefully make some money. Now we have a high point. We just need a lower high point. Okay, boom. And now we have, okay, go. That just shot off. Now we have that high point, lower high point. So you see, just by taking that first lower high point, what's a lot of traders going to do now? They're going to be doing that. They're going to be doing that. And let's see what happens if you try and push the market. That's my trend line at the top. I'm sticking to that. Let's just see what happens. Okay. So now we have a third touch. Okay. So if you weren't trading breakouts, then actually you'll be having a short position if we don't take close through that. Okay. There we actually close above. And now let's take buy position. Okay. So there's actually a perfect breakout and it retests. So if you took that trade, you'll be in the same level. And let's take the trade now. So that would have worked, but once again, we're sticking to our concept. Okay. Let's take the trade up. Okay, and boom, another one. So you guys see how we would have waited all the way from 31 March. So about 10 days before taking a trade. And now we are running smoothly into profits. We haven't lost the trade yet, so let's continue with this trend. Okay, there's a high point. Is that a lower high point? No, not a lower high point. This is just shooting for moon. Okay, we have a high point. Okay, now finally we do have this level over there. Obviously, we can see we're going to wait quite some time because we are yeah, we're quite far away. Okay, but now we can see there's a second trend forming inside that trend as well. Okay, so now let's wait. the C for a break. Perfect. And there is our break. Once we have that break, we're going to take the next trade over there. Guys, I'm not actually focusing on where the stop loss is placed. So yeah, if something like that happens, we're going to touch on that later. Okay, so now this is our first loss. So we still went 1,500 points, 150 pips in profits, which is quite amazing. But let's say for this instance, we hit stop loss, because most probably, once again, we will be hitting stop loss with that spike. What I'm going to show you guys later on, we will not hit stop loss, so that's going to be a little bit of adjustment. But let's say that was our first hit. Okay, so what do we do now? Same thing. Okay, but one thing I forgot was adding our high low points. As long as we're above that, then obviously we're in buying trend. Okay, on the daily, guys, you need to close below it on the daily. Okay, so now we are pushing into the highs. Okay, so for us, we have two options now, once again. And this is actually a perfect position for us to be in. This is obviously the live market. I'm showing you guys what's happening in the live market. Okay, so now what we are waiting for is a close above, so we can obviously take a buy. Okay, but if we don't close above, okay, then we're going to obviously reject and we're going to sell. And if the daily closes below the zone, okay, which is the daily high low, then what's going to happen is the price is going to start selling. So then what we're going to do is wait for that pullback and then take a trade to the downside. So then we're going to start adding our trend line for the sells and not for the buys. So that's a trend line strategy, guys. Like I said, it's so important to understand that you need to wait for a high point, a lower high point, and then add your trend line, and then wait for the break of structure. First, we'll break off trend line, and then keep trading that trend line until you have a trend reversal. And now finally, we are at the point where we have a trend reversal. You can also block it off like this, saying that if we close above this block, which will be above the trend line, we're going to buy. If we close below the block, which is below that daily high low, then we're going to start selling, and then we just keep hitting that trend lines to the downside to keep looking for sell positions.
Okay guys, obviously now that you have the strategy to say, you obviously still need to understand that the big components towards your strategy is your risk management, your entry criteria, exit criteria, all those type of things. So if you guys actually just look at this previous video that I put out, you guys will learn all those components within that video, but I'll also do a quick short segment about this and how you can actually implement this into this trading strategy.
Okay, so now that we have the strategy, we've backtested it. I showed you guys how to do it, how to backtest it, how to use it forward as well. Let's quickly look at the risk management behind the strategy. Okay, so like I said, doesn't matter what you do, what type of trader you are, if you do not have risk management and money management part of your trading plan, you will not succeed as a trader. And doesn't matter how good your strategy is, you will be struggling. So let's quickly look at this. So let's say you have a $200 account. The reason I don't say $50 or $10 or $20, guys. Number one, we're trading gold. You cannot be trading gold with a small account, okay? Gold is a very volatile, big moving pair. You need capital to trade it. And then once again, I will never suggest trading with an amount where you can't even risk 1%. If you can't risk 1%, then what's the point? So 1% of $200 already is $2. It's so difficult to risk $2, and you guys need to understand that you are going to take losses, which you guys obviously saw. And if you don't have a risk management plan, you will always struggle to be a long-term trader. So you need to have an amount that you can actually risk 1 to 3%, I'll say. So usually it's 1%, but with gold being quite volatile, it is 1 to 3%. So let's say $3 to $6 you're going to be risking. So let's just make it easy because we need to have the same risk. So let's say we're going to be risking $6 on every trade. Okay. So now market broke that structure. Let's just put a 500 points, $5 move stop loss on all the trades. Okay. We'll have a different video where I'll be explaining stop losses and how to calculate stop loss and all those things. But let's say we have a fixed SL of $5, which is going to be 500 points, which is going to be $5. So now we take this trade, market goes up 1 to 6 risk to reward. Okay, so we were risking $5, okay, and we made $30. Okay, so we're already $30 up on our account. We have a $200 account, so now we're $230 up, which is about 15% on our account. Second trade plays out, perfect 1, 2, 3, and another $15 is added. So we're already sitting on 245. Third trade plays out, all with the same SL. I'll just quickly take this down to 50. Also another $15 made on that position. Okay, that would have been a little bit more actually, looking at that 1, 2, 4. So that would be $20. Okay, with all the same stop loss. Okay, then market went on, and we had quite a good trading position over there. Let's move it to 5 as well. So another $20 bagged on that position. Okay, so now we're up $50, $70, and $85, almost 50% gain on our account. Then finally, I know it sounds bad to say finally, but finally taking a loss. What happens? Okay, we lose. Okay, minus $5. Okay, so we literally lost our trade, and we literally lost $5. And look at all the profits we actually make. Okay, so we are up 230, 50, 70, and 85, meaning we are sitting on $280. Meaning that we made 40% on our account following a simple trading strategy. When did we start? We started trading this 22 March, and our last trade was 22 April. Okay, so in a month's time, okay, in 1 month's time, we made 40% gain on our account. So it's so important because now a lot of people just lose, and they keep losing, over risking, so many things happening and components not going their way. If you are starting next month on $280, now you're risking $10, for example. Okay, then next month you'll be making $160. So then you're making $3K. So it's always important to understand, isn't it better to withdraw $100 a month than just lose $200? So slow and steady does win the race when it gets to trading. So it's very important to have a clear risk management plan in place, and then from there start working it up. Or option number 2, what you could have done is after that first win, you knew you were $30 up. If you are $30 up, that means you are basically 6 trades up. So after that first big win, which was a really good win, we were sitting on $230, which is $30 up divided by $5 risk. So you have 6 trades up, meaning that we can lose 6 trades and still be profitable. So what you then could do is obviously push your stops forward and say, well, from now on, we're going to be risking $10, which is going to be equal to 0.02 cent trade. And then look at it now, risking $10, boom, and we're making $40. Okay, on that position. And then the second one was the same. Okay, $40, $40, and then that was a little bit of a bigger one. That was a $60 position. Okay, and then we obviously lost $10 on that position. So what we did is we actually used our profits say, well, we're only going to take the next 6 trades, we're going to be risking an extra $5. We're going to be doubling the risk. Not times 5 times 6, doubling the risk. And now 230 plus 270, 310, 370 minus 10, 360. And we are almost 100% up on our account. Just because we had a good trade in the beginning, we were able to use that profit just to have a small adjustment of our trade, and use that profit to obviously push our profits forward and obviously increase our profits. So I hope that makes sense to you guys, and I hope that helps you guys, and I hope that is something that you guys to implement. That once again shows you that you do not need to over risk your account to make 100% a month. That was 4 trades, 4 good ones, 1 bad one, 5 trades, but 5 trades for 1 month, 1 pair, and we are up either 40% or 100% on your account. Okay, so now we're going to work on the live market. We're quickly going to jump through all the pairs. I'm going to be quick with it. USD I already know is in high, high, low, high, low in a buying trend. Let's jump to the 1H. We already had the pullback. That is then 0.1, 0.2, and extend. So pretty simple on what we're waiting for with this pair. Waiting for, not that bad, for a break, and then a buy, then a continuation. HFJPY, we're obviously in a buying trend as well. Sorry guys, some of them I still have analysis in of explaining something. So we only have a high point, we don't have a lower high yet, so nothing for us there. Then let's look at your USD buying trend. So this is in a selling trend. Okay, so we're looking for sales. Okay, if we're looking for sales, then that is our go-to. We already closed below, so we are looking for a continuation to the downside. Euro GBP, let's quickly look at Euro GBP on the higher time frames. Higher time frames is actually in a sideways market. We can see we do have this lower points over here. We do have a high point. So we have a lower low, a lower high, a high low, lower high. Okay, equal lower high. So we are not in any trends. We can actually trade any way, any direction that we would like to. So what you could have done is obviously say, well, there was our low point over there. There was our lower high point. So as soon as we closed below, we could have taken that short position, would have gone straight into profits, small $40, 50-point move into the negative, and then straight into profit once again. So at the moment, there's not something for us to look at. Obviously, we're just in a selling trend. Okay, USD in a buying trend, obviously with all the USD. So let's quickly jump to 1H. Okay. So now we're not going to be taking that highs because that was the trade. Okay, so you could have entered there and you could be in a buy. So what we can do now is obviously do something like that. So wait for a little bit of a break and a trade to the top side. Then GP odd, let's quickly run to the high time frames. Okay, high time frames, we are in a buying trend as well. So let's quickly run to 1H time frame. Okay, so we can see there was the high, there was the high low, so we would have been in that buy. Then we had another push and we had another low high, so we would be in another buy, and we are currently targeting those higher points. JPY, also in a buying trend, we formed a high, but we never came back for lower high for a buy. GBUSD, okay, we formed that high point, lower high, so that would have been a perfect trade setup over there. Close above. Just look at it. Actually, if you have that buying level in, then you can just take that continuation by adding some technicals into play, which we're obviously going to touch on just now as well. So now we have that high point, and we're obviously just in the buy, so we should already be in a trade. USD CAD, we're in a selling trend, lower low, low high. So what are we doing? We already have the trend, 0.1, 0.2 extend. So we're going to be waiting for a breakout of the trend line. Okay, we have learned before that we're not going to try and push that trend over there. We're going to stick to this outer trend. USD ZAR, let's quickly clean this off. Go to the 4H time frame. Okay, we are in a selling trend. So let's jump to the 1H time frame. Okay, 0.1, 0.2 extend. Then we had another 0.1, 0.2 extend. So what are we waiting for? A little bit of a pullback, then for a sell-off to the downside. Oil, I'm not going to touch on obviously because it's just fundamentally based, and then gold I've already touched on. So that is how we're using it in the current live market and using it to predict what's going to be happening forward.
Once again, if you made it to this point, I do appreciate the support and the love. Obviously, I put a lot of work into this videos, although it doesn't always look like it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Please remember to subscribe. Obviously, I want to reach my goal in 10,000 subscribers before the end of 3 months. So let's keep pushing, guys. Let's keep working. The more you guys subscribe, like, comment, the more it hypes me up, obviously, to put out better content, longer content, and obviously more frequent content. So join my community below. I'm going to be giving out free market updates, free courses, free mentorship, all those things in one. So thank you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one.